Bitch, wait, gotta play it big. Big house, big lake, big. Fuck, nigga. One more time, man. You know we back with the biggest podcast, man. I'm right here with the man.
That's right.
The myth, the legend. You know what I'm saying? the biggest, one of the biggest, man. This man has been known for breaking records all the way around the city and the globe at this point. You know what I'm saying? More than 10 chapters of DJs under him. You know what I'm saying? We talking about history still in the making right now. I'm with my dog, my big brother, one of my mentors, DJ Big X. What's up, dog?
Oh, man, nothing much. Happy to be here with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, we outside. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, got a lot of big things going on 2026, man. You know, 18 years in the game. We just celebrated our anniversary. A lot of great artists was on the bill. And like I said, we working.
For sure. Talk about year one, man. You 18 years in. What was year one like?
Year one was actually really just trying to get everybody, you know, acclimated to what my vision was. Like really trying to get Nando, Funky, and X-Rated to understand, like, you know, what I really was trying to do with it. At the time I was doing it, I really was trying to get us to come together to get some extra money.
Yeah.
But you know, the impact that we started to have, especially having Nando on the team and having a guy like an X-Rated and a Funky, the impact we had was like instant. And it was so major, it just took off, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the first year, it really wasn't hard. It was really just, you know, just like I said, just actually getting people to understand that, you know, we always in strategic spots and it made sense to come and break your record with us.
What made you just think of that? Like, what was the whole mindset behind it?
Oh, man, one night I was at Platinum with Nando, and he was doing Bitch Slap, and he told me to come by and host with him one day, and I was like, shit, let's do it. I went over there, and I was gonna DJ for him while he hosted the show. And that night while he was hosting and I was DJing, all these guys just kept coming to the DJ booth for money.
Yeah.
So at that point I was like, man, they just coming to get their song played for the night. What if I create a program where they could get their record played more than once a night? You know what I'm saying? What if they could get their record played for the next 4 weeks in the club without having to be in the club? So that was my premise for doing the whole thing.
Damn, man, that's dope because it just came from an idea you had.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was just an idea. Like me and my man Wendiak, shout out to Wendiak, he came up with the name and everything. Like it really was just like one of them things where we was just sitting around the house and he was just like, man, call it Coalition.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have a name, so I was like, let's go with it.
Let's run with it. And we know it was other DJ crews in the city at that time. What was your thing to make the Coalition stand out?
What I knew consistency would make us stand out, and actually, you know, being men of our word and doing what we said we was gonna do, and really being able to be in the right spots and being in the right places at the right time, and it just all made sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially during that time because we was really coming like, I really want to say it was like post BMF. So 2008 was like a real critical year for Atlanta because you had so much music that came during that time. You had like Young LA, you had the Snap. You know, I think the Snap movement was still going on. So it was a real critical time for Atlanta, and during that time, you know, you had groups, little young groups like the Migos and different things going on in the city, and a lot of the DJs in the city was already breaking records. So, you know, I can't really take all the credit for like what was already, well, you know, what as far as breaking records. You know, the breaking record thing was already kind of happening. We just kind of put a signature on it.
Right. And at what moment did you realize, man, this is becoming more than just 4 DJs trying to get some money? Like,
I mean, what the part when I really seen what separated us from a lot of other DJ crews was when we had the opportunity to be, we had the article wrote for us on us in the Wall Street Journal. You know, I don't know if people know that, like for the Wall Street Journal, which is a finance, kind of like a finance newspaper, they keep up with stocks and all that. For them to really like reach out and do a feature on us on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, that really made me, in my mindset, just take everything to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and so you have. And since then, man, we've worked with some of the biggest artists you can even think of, bro. Like, right. And what's one of them artists that you were like, damn, man, I can't believe that from our hard work, this man just went to the next level.
Oh, man, you got to get at the Future. You know what I'm saying? When you look at, you know, I remember when they walked Future in and they was in X-Rated and Funky and everybody was just so excited about his music. Me being a little older than them,
yeah.
It took me a minute to like,
kinda get
okay.
on board, yeah.
But like around, I want to say not really, like it didn't take me a minute. I want to say like around Tony Montana, I kind of was all the way in. Like I liked everything he did all the way up until that point. I just didn't understand the impact that it would have. I didn't, because like I always tell people, if you don't know where artists come from, you don't really know what type of impact he have. He might really have his town on fire. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I didn't know the impact and really who he was. I knew him. I think I met him like one time as a young kid doing the Connect. He was a part of the Connect, and that was my vision of him. I didn't really see this new future guy. I kind of, my boy Shorty B introduced me to him as Meathead. So
Kurtwood Meathead.
So, and they was going to future, and I didn't really understand. I was a little old. I didn't get it, but right around the time of when Tony Montana kind of hit it, V103 started playing it, I was going, man, this might be something.
And it's speaking of knowing where artists come from, let's speak on a little bit about where you come from, because a lot of people don't know you're an Atlanta native. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So what's that been like? Just being able to grow up in your city and have the impact that you've had as a DJ.
I just think a lot of time people forget, being an Atlanta native. I was here before everybody got here. You know what I'm saying? Like I was making records before everybody got here, before everybody got on. I was DJing, back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So when you just count that in and then count the years you've been knowing me doing this. My first group was like in 91. I think I got Y'all So Stupid signed in 91. But I think I did the Hard Boys. My memory might be slipping a little bit. But I think around like 90, 91, I did the Hard Boys. Then I did Y'all So Stupid. But the Hard Boys was one of them groups that kind of changed the sound of Atlanta. Before the Hard Boys, it wasn't no gangster music. It was all party music. We was all doing bass music. It was all bass music. It was all party music. Shout out to Raheem. Shout out to Shadi. But they was a great representation of what Atlanta was during that time. But around that time, the industry had started changing. Gangster music had became a part of what, the streets was. You know what I'm saying? So since everybody was kind of moving toward what the streets was doing and what NWA was doing, it was only right that we evolved into the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So the Hard Boys was like one of the first groups in Atlanta to really have an Atlanta tone, an Atlanta voice, Atlanta lingo on a record.
So and then like talking about how much Atlanta has changed in the music. Like right now we at the West Side Motor Lounge and
right at the corner of the North Side and Bankhead.
Yeah, and I grew up in this neighborhood. I'm from the West Side. I'm from Atlanta. So like just seeing everything that you see, like what's been like the biggest change that you've seen with music and as far as the city?
I seen the industry move to Atlanta. Honestly, I mean, I remember in the 90s when we used to have to mail our beats to an artist. You know what I'm saying? We would have to FedEx the beat to an artist. To see now you can email and some of the things I see the artists do now, and just some of the changes I see in music now, just period, how fast you can make music and just how Atlanta evolved. Just, Atlanta always been a talent bed. Like, even from, you go all the way back to the early 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like you had Peabo Bryce and Mother Finest. You had a lot of groups that was already Cameo. That seed had already been planted here. It was just only right that when hip hop came that, it was up to the next generation. Just like now, as you see, like what music is now, it's up to the next generation to take the baton and move it to the next, where we going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And music today to me it's not as, I'm gonna be honest, it's just not as good as it was, during y'all era. I'm gonna be honest. That's my personal opinion. But just seeing just everything from where it was to where it is now, what do you think is going next?
I think AI will influence a lot of music in the next 5 to 10 years. I put a post up on my page maybe a few weeks ago. I said like AI in the next 5 years, it'll be more AI artists than it'll be actual artists. Right. And that's just because a lot of the artists now, but the great thing about it, I think the value of a real artist is going to really have some real value to it. I think if artists really start looking at it from a standpoint of what they have to do to kind of stay ahead of AI, because AI, if you ever play with any of those AI machines, you can have a beat in 20 seconds. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, the rate how that comes out and the rate of how anybody now can be a producer, anybody now can create a group, anybody now can create an R&B artist. Anybody now can create a rapper. So now to be an artist, you really got to be outside and doing everything you got to do to touch all the bases.
Outside, man. We outside. Speaking of the outside, man, talk about the We Outside show, man, that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? It's been growing. I saw it from day one. You know what I'm saying? When you came to, you know what I'm saying? You came to my spot and I saw you do it.
Yeah,
from that. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. I forgot all about that. Yeah, I did start the We Outside show with you. Yeah, it's crazy to see it grow because it really, your spot was like my graduation. I graduated from my house to like now I'm gonna go do it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But it's good to see it grow like that, man. Like now we got, you know, shout out to Live Hip Hop Daily. They give us a spot every week to kind of make sure we stay consistent with it. I appreciate H for, you know, giving us that lane. Filthy for locking in, you know what I'm saying? But we seen it grow. Like, you know, I don't know where, you know, we just trying to stay consistent with it and just keep it going. Because a lot of times, you know, with social media moving so fast, if you don't see the numbers, people just get disencouraged. And I think a lot of times you can't get discouraged with the numbers. If you keep going along the way, people are genuinely just lock in because everything is about the viral moment. Yeah. I think once you hit a viral moment, it's like people that might have seen you 100 times and just scroll past you, now they take that chance to go down and listen to you now.
Yeah. And shout out to Filthy Rich for everything, you know, he got going on. I'm gonna come holler at you too, Filthy. Oh, yeah. But yeah, man, you've been doing this thing, man. It's the anniversary. You know what I'm saying? The anniversary has been a huge success for the past couple of years. Man, putting that together, like, was that a way to give back to the artists or give back to the DJs or both?
I mean, it was a little bit of both. It's like, you know, all year long, the DJs go hard for, you know, for the artists, you know what I'm saying? And we don't really, a lot of time, ask for nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I take it upon myself that one time in the year, just go, hey, man, listen, come back, show some love to the DJs, show love to the guys that, you know, when you won in the club, they were still supporting you, they were still playing your record and wasn't asking you for anything. They was just making sure that, you know, you was being still heard, being seen, you know what I'm saying? I think that's important. I think a lot of time artists forget about, you know, it's 1 million records, it's 100,000 records come out every week. Yeah. So to still be on a DJ's playlist, you as an artist, you got to start taking that serious.
For sure. Speaking of the DJs and everything like that, what would be some advice that you would give to an upcoming DJ who's trying to, you know, get his motion going?
Get knowledge of the music so you won't be pigeonholed into doing one thing. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times, a lot of DJs are pigeonholed into doing trap, or they just pigeonholed into doing one genre of music because that's what either they learned when they started DJing and they didn't really feel like they needed to grow outside of that. But there's a lot of money into being an open format DJ now, just being able to play whatever, being able to fit in any crowd. And there's a lot of corporate money out there. So, you know, I think a lot of times people leave that money out. They leave that money, you know, they leave that on the table. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely say get you some music knowledge and practice.
For sure. And what does it take to be a Coalition DJ? You know what I'm saying? Like, to be a part of the movement.
I mean, at one point, my criteria was really being a working DJ. That was, you know, as long as you was a working DJ, you know, I kind of would, okay, yeah, let's have him be a part of the crew. But now that I'm back really DJing, my criteria is changing. So I can't really tell you what my criteria is. But one of the main criteria is being able to play outside of one genre and being a dope DJ.
For sure. And what would be some advice that you would give to artists who, you know, who coming up and trying to take their stuff to the next level?
Stop listening to all these people online. I think a lot of the shit that people be saying online, I mean, I wake up every day and I've been doing this music industry shit I know since like 89, 90. Professionally, I've been in the game since 89, 90.
Professionally mean making money.
Right.
I mean, man, that's the difference between an amateur and a professional. The professional make money.
Right. So, you know, I just hear some of the shit they be saying, and some of these people that ain't never been in a building, they don't even know the reps. They don't even know none of the people. They might know a guy who managed an artist or some shit like that, but some of the advice they be giving, it just be hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And it really put those artists in a crazy mind state, a really entitled mind state when they really need to know that this shit is a grind.
Yeah. And a business.
Oh, they don't understand. They are the business. You the product. You just like the candy bar that's on the shelf. You the product.
Yeah, for sure. So X, what we looking at? Like, what you been working on, and what do we see X in the next 5 years?
Well, I've been in the tech space, you know what I'm saying? I've learned over the years not to give up what I'm doing because I know people will copy what you do in Atlanta.
Oh, boy.
But I got a lot of big things going. Like I say, we got the conference coming back up. We probably got a summer concert coming up. The organization is still growing. We're moving in some different directions. We got our documentary coming up soon. DJ Funky got a lot of big things going on. You know, he got about 30 albums.
Yeah.
You know,
we talked about that on the last show. Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Funky. Street Politician got his hand in some things. And I want to give a big shout out to the Coalition team, the internal, the administrative team. When you talk about the anniversary, I can't even really talk about the anniversary without thanking them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what happens with Coalition happens on the conference calls, on the Zoom calls, on those calls that, you know, we have to really plan and we have to use everybody that's a part of the team. It's not a X and Funky. It's a Smooth, it's a Filthy, it's a Lala, it's a Rich. Everybody play a part.
For sure. And, man, moving forward, man, I've been a part of the crew for the longest, you know what I'm saying? And I've always told you that I appreciate everything that you've ever done for me. And I just want to let you know right now, right here, that I'm giving you your flowers right now, man. You know what I'm saying? You've been like more than just a DJ big homie, more than just, you know, you've been a father figure at times. Right. You've been a influencer. You've helped us with a lot of things, and I just want to give you your flowers right now, man, and let you know that we appreciate everything you've done, and I appreciate everything you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Just let them know where they can find you, X.
Yeah, man, I'm happy you're doing this though too. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know, man. I had to You taught me this. Sometimes you got to reinvent yourself and do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all done had losses and stuff, and I've been there. You know, I done got discouraged at a certain point, and you know, it's just, hey man, this the comeback. This part of it.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Oh, I was saying, I forgot the question. I forgot the question. What did I say? Cause I can edit all this. What did I say? Well, I was just getting your flowers for the most part.
Okay. But just close it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, Big X, man, just tell them where they can find you. You know what I'm saying? Tell them everything that's for the future, you know what I'm saying? How to get in touch with you and all of that.
You can always find me on Instagram at Big X ATL, Coalition DJs ATL. And I promise you, when you type in Coalition ATL, there's going to be a bunch of other coalitions that's going to pop up. We got the Midwest tour going on out in the Midwest. We got Houston popping, Dallas is popping. Detroit, a few other places, DC, Charlotte, Alabama. Shout out to my people over Alabama. We just, you know, like I said, this year, I'm really more so focused in growing the organization than actually breaking records and that. I think that whole breaking record thing is still valuable, but I think as a company, it's just time for us to grow.
For sure. And before we leave, do you think that's still a thing, breaking records? Like, do you think that's still a thing?
Yeah, I think breaking records is really, it's always going to be a thing as long as you got DJs. I think it kind of changed a little bit because I think the artists don't really see the value in it no more. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you look to have a real career in this game, you got to have the DJs at least breaking your record. Because at the end of the day, you know, you can do ass all day long. You don't know who touching your record. You don't know who those people is. But if you actually got the DJs playing your records and you out in the street, shaking hands and kissing babies, then you building a real fan base. I think a lot of artists don't have fan bases because they don't get out and they don't know the DJs. They ain't going to the clubs. They're not doing those things to really build a fan base. They really looking for that viral moment. And even when you get that viral moment, it don't build fans.
Right.
So I think, you know, that's just something all artists need to be doing right now. You know, back to, you know, direct to consumer. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. And X, man, I really appreciate your time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time, man, because I know you're a busy man.
And I'm about to go DJ, you know what I'm saying?
And he finna go DJ, man. Y'all come see X at the West Side Motor Lounge and let them know your schedule, man, so they can come pull up on
man.
you.
Don't forget, catch me every Tuesday over at the Listening Room at Smith Old Bar. Every second Thursday over at Buteco. All I'm doing is playing vinyl, playing good music. No Serato. All turntable action, you know what I'm saying?
Real DJing.
Real DJs, you know what I'm saying? And real DJing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Love, man. Thank you, X, for your time, man. Once again, the biggest podcast, we doing this shit, man. You see I pull up anywhere. We pulling up, you know what I'm saying?
He got a little mobile kit. I see you.
Yeah, for sure. We outside. We gone.